Hello! I actually recorded this video back in September of 2021. It now is January of 2022 and I decided I hate the other video, so I'm going to talk about it again. What am I talking about? Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. So, if you don't know what the book is about, it is about the first son, I think is what it's called, of the United States, like the son of the president, so I think it's the first son. And the first son of the United States falls in love with Prince Henry of Britain, and then it's like a forbidden love kind of thing, and it's gay, so that's why I read it. And unfortunately, I actually didn't really like it that much. I thought that the entire thing had some less than ideal points, which I'm going to get to. I mean, first of all, I'm going to say, if you like instant attraction and you like very physical attraction and you also enjoy kind of still figuring out your sexuality, if there's aspects of books or other media that you enjoy, then you might really like this one. However, there's aspects and things that I like. I prefer slow burn, pining, you know, kind of very, they don't touch each other until like page 368, and then on 369 the book is over. That's the kind of thing that I am into. So unfortunately that was not the way that I would have preferred the relationship to evolve throughout the book. So that being said, let me get into some of the stuff that I liked, some of the stuff that I didn't like about this. So let me start criticizing the book. Unfortunately, it was not slow burn at all. If you don't care about that, then good for you, go read the book. I mean, it's very popular, so I'm sure you'll like it. But yeah, like a third into the book, spoilers by the way, from now on, so if you care about what's happening in the book, don't watch. If you don't care, you already know, please keep watching. Yeah, like 1/3 into the book, the two main guys hook up for the first time already. And my dumbass thought, well, they hooked up, so like they're already together basically, like what's gonna happen now? Turns out that like sexual people just hook up and don't realize that they have feelings for each other. So that was very unexpected for me. And I didn't really like that. I don't really like those situations where there's already been physical intimacy and then they only add the emotional one later. That's absolutely not how I roll. The thing that I do have to say, and Casey McQuiston, if you see this, I love you. Because you write beautiful found family, queer family relationships and situations. I have to say that that was the case in One Last Stop, which is the other book. And also there was one scene in this one which I actually remember quite well, and it's been like a year-ish, half a year, since I read this. So like, just to remember a scene, for me that's special. But there was this karaoke scene between like all of the queers, and they were having a great time just being themselves, and I think that that is something that McQuiston excels in, like the kind of just queers having a good time, getting that feeling through the pages. I think that's what they do really, really well. And then, as already mentioned, the main guy, Alex, the first son, he is still questioning his sexuality in the book, which I didn't realize. I didn't realize that he didn't know that he was bi. So when that started being a bigger plot point, I was like, well, I already figured my identity out. I personally don't really care about reading books where the characters are still new to it. I prefer where they already know, this is who I am, I've accepted myself, and I'm just trying to find someone new to love. So for this one to be like, well, what? I am bi? When it like, I don't know, the way it was written, it was very, very obvious that the character is in fact attracted to men. And I understand that, you know, the gays are oblivious. I myself am an oblivious gay, so I get it. But, I don't know, it just caught me completely by surprise that he didn't realize. So it was just like a very confusing aspect, because there wasn't like any questioning mentioned before. It was just like, by the way, I don't know, I'm bi. And I was like, huh? And then something I surprisingly have to criticize in this book is that the dialogue between the two main guys I didn't like a lot of it. Like, what is, I guess, supposed to be banter, or whatever the frick you want to call it. It's just flip-flopped way too much from being, like, affectionate to, like, pseudo rude and insulting for no reason. It's just, like, it went from one thing to the other within, like, a page. Not actually a page, I assume. I don't remember, it's been too long, but it flip-flopped very, very quickly, and I didn't like that. I didn't understand why their relationship and their interactions were that ambivalent. Like, not even the way that it was like, oh, we're in public, we have to be mean, but, like, even in private, I just didn't understand. It didn't seem like a believable way of interacting with each other. And I guess an overarching theme that I can see here in McQuiston's books is that I really, really like the themes of queer friendship and found family, and the couples tend to be secondary to that. And in One Last Stop, I'm so sorry I keep comparing it, but it's a book I really liked and also by the same author, so what else am I supposed to do? But yeah, in One Last Stop, I still like the couple itself, the main couple. But here, I just, for the reasons mentioned, it was too horny for me. Physical attraction, not slow burn, they already fucked. Like, I just didn't really care about them and their relationship that much. So, yeah, that is just an unfortunate thing, because the book is supposed to be about their relationship, and then when I don't like the main aspect, but I like the secondary aspect, then that's just not ideal, I would assume. And then the aspect that it's supposed to be enemies to lovers, at least it's advertised like that sometimes. Besties. Where the fuck is the enemy aspect? Like, the enemy aspect, it seems so unfitting, so unbelievable. What? Like, literally, he just saw him and he was rude once, and then was like, that's the guy who was rude to me, so I hate him now. And I understand it's supposed to be like, well, he thought, he was paying attention to him because he hated him, but he was actually in love all this time. But it just seemed laughable in how completely stupid that was, to be like they were enemies because one guy disliked the other when he was like 10. What? No. That's not an interesting dynamic at all, to me at least. I'm so sorry, but like, who the fuck cares about that? You were 10, move on. You're like 18, 17 now. Get a grip. Let me actually talk about some stuff that I liked again. So, I liked the platonic friendships, the queer friendships. I actually liked some of the more emotional moments between the main two, when they were actually like talking about stuff and opening up to each other. I thought that those were some really sweet moments that I actually enjoyed. And then I also liked some of the, like, you get some little excerpts from emails and texts to and from each other, and I liked those, and I thought those were like pretty funny sometimes. And I liked how Henry, I think he wants to be a writer, and he had like flowery language, and I thought that was a pretty nice touch, and those were the things that I actually liked about it. Pretty big spoiler, so if you actually haven't read it, there's this like a last third kind of conflict point, so just a warning. But the emails get leaked, and I like that one, because usually in romance books you have like, oh no, there's a misunderstanding, and no, they're mad for some reason, and that's the conflict, third act conflict, and that's like really stupid or something I don't really like. And they kind of they teased, and they were like, oh, they're having a fight, oh, that's gonna be the problem, but then they resolved it immediately, which I was very, very thankful for. And then instead, they actually did the high stakes feeling thing of, well, the emails got leaked and now they have to deal with the consequences. I thought that was a really, really good plot point to use for the third act of the book. And then lastly, a very significant criticism I have for this book is its depiction of the American parties as the evil Republicans who never do any good, and they're all evil, and the ban has been defeated by the glorious Democrats who are all perfect people and only want to do what's best for humanity, and they're all open-minded and liberal, and ooh, they're so amazing. I feel like portraying a political party in this way, kind of glorifying it, idealizing it, that is a very dangerous thing to do. I am personally not American, so I don't know a lot about American politics and American parties, but I do know that the Democratic Party is not the ideal, open-minded, progressive thing it is portrayed to be in this book. I understand that this book was also somewhat in response to Trump being president and kind of a idealized version of events where everything was good and was kind of a coping distraction mechanism. I get that. And I understand it. And it's just, for entertainment only. It's not like they said, well, this is what the parties are like. But I still feel like the depiction of the parties as purely good, especially, that is very problematic. And something I just couldn't really ignore, and made me feel a bit weird when I started thinking more about it. So that being said, yeah, it just wasn't for me. It was very physical attraction and horny, which are not things I usually look for in books. I like the pining and the slow burn, unfortunately. But yeah, if you've read the book and you disagree with my opinion of it, please do tell me what you liked and disliked. And thank you for watching. Thank you for appreciating the fates. And yes, these are actually star-shaped earmuffs in purple, because I am what? Extra? Okay, I'll see you at some point, probably.